Okay, what's going on everybody? Chili Games again. And today I recently unlocked the Vanguard and have actually recently just fully upgraded it. So, um, if you take a look on your screen, you're going to see something a little bit out of place. And, well, actually, let's just go over my upgrades here. So, honestly, aiming mod system every time. This time I went for steering gears, and I'm going to get into that, but just know I go for the rudder shift, target acquisition, it's stupid, and the main battery mod, which is secondary mod, is just completely useless. Main battery mod and the upgrades. So that is what we're looking at. What is funny about this is I am actually using Bruce Fraser as the captain of this battleship. So, why am I doing that? Well, I was looking at Cunningham and I was like, okay, flammable cannoneer, that's fine. All these things, yada yada, cool. I was also looking at MADDEN, or struggling here. I was doing a brawler meme build or whatever. And I was like, you know what, like, both of those captains kind of suck, and the Vanguard is, well, they don't suck, but Vanguard is that kind of meme of a ship. So I was like, you know what? Let me look at Fraser real quick. So Fraser is maximum movement speed, so you can use the inspiration. You can use burn it down for 2% more chance of fire, which is negligible at best. I wouldn't really. It's quite a meme. But you can also use the piercer for AP shell, which if you're using the British AP, this can actually be a really, really good perk, honestly. So you can't use home run because of torpedo range, and igniter you can't use because of it's blocked by, you have to be a cruiser. So you can use the torpedo detection, which is plus 10%, which is actually quite good. So you can go there. Sorry guys, I'm not sure why my nose is being stupid. You have to use this skill for speed because this is punch through is for cruisers and light fortress is for cruisers as well. So the plus 3% movement speed, so that's plus 6% movement speed basically. And fixated is for cruisers, so you have to go steer clear, which is rudder shift, which honestly isn't the worst thing. And we're going to get into why I have, why that's actually pretty good. Okay, so for the meat of this commander choice, you cannot get fully packed with Cunningham or MADDEN, the two battleship captains, and which is, which is fine. With the cruiser captain, and all of these perks and skills can work for battleships that I have chose. So we're not losing anything here. The inspiration is good, or it's usable. Fully packed gives us an extra consumable. Refill station, would be kind of a meme. It would be kind of funny if it was maxed out, but it's not. So now, if you look at the ship with fully packed, we get 4 really good heals, and we get 2 main battery reload boosters. So this is why I think Fraser is actually a pretty strong choice. Oh man, and see, look, you still get 17 kilometers of range. You can buff that to about 17.5 with the flag, I think. And yeah, 22-second reload. I'm gonna be spamming. So yeah, let me put the flags on here just to show you guys. I'm gonna get that one. So movement is 32, almost 33 knots, and our rudder shift time is 11 seconds. So that is what we're going to get into, and I'm gonna let this section end, and we're gonna get into the gameplay. Alright, now we're gonna get into the actual meme. So we get a get a game on Trident, and I believe this game, well, this is this is a game that I got, I think this was my second game using Fraser as the captain, and immediately we are thrown into probably the worst spawn for a battleship on this map. One, because there's no way for you to get out of here, and I have found that Vanguard is very, very, very vulnerable if you are stuck bow in. Why is that? Well, one, because it's pretty squishy, and two, your turret angles are so bad. Only being able to shoot your front turrets in an engagement is going to really cripple you, so I have found that the best way to somewhat play this is almost kiting-ish, which is weird to say, but you're definitely not a brawler. As soon as if you are forced to brawl, you are going to, excuse me, you're going to be very outclassed by even cruisers can outclass. Like, if we were to take a 1v1 brawl with a Vanguard or, God, there's something in my throat, and I kind of want to die. Excuse me. Anyways, so if we were in a 1v1 brawl versus like a Baltimore or a Vanguard, I would rather be in the Baltimore. Like, it is, Vanguard up close is not very good, and Jean Bart is a almost direct counter to me there. So we are playing the first little bit of this game somewhat passive, and we're just trying to make sure that we don't expose too much broadside to all those battleships that are just sitting back here. And this is where the reload booster could have came in handy, but unfortunately we get super unlucky. And I have found that with the Vanguard, you overpin a lot, and that is really, really weird because you're not using the biggest guns. So I don't know, just what I've found in the past couple of games playing. This Mayoko is 100% out of play here. You should never be this, like, you should never be, no, just no, that's not how you play them. Again, unlucky, overpin, and another thing about the Vanguard is, one, that the turret angles are very bad. And not only that, your dispersion does not help your cause. You are very limited with you only have 8 guns. You have a good reload, but you only have 8 guns and you have terrible turret angles. So bad dispersion really, really cripples this ship, I feel like. If this ship had a lot more consistent dispersion, I feel like it would be actually quite good. But 2 shells off of that, I don't know. I feel like every time that I've played this ship so far, it's just left me wanting more, or I felt like, man, I could have done something, better. However, it is fun to try new things, and the 4 heals is actually going to come in handy at some point. Not in this game, but very good heals. So you can definitely tank a lot of damage in this thing. I'm basically trying to kite this this left side here because I definitely can't go toe to toe with 2 cruiser, or a cruiser, a Colorado, and a Jean Bart that was just sitting there. I would have to expose too much broadside to to do anything spectacular over there. And I'm not trying to 1v4 in this thing, because this thing isn't even fully upgraded. In this game that I got right here, I did not have the hull upgrade, and my rudder shift was like 18 seconds, which is awful. And you see there the results of shooting the DD. So it is definitely with this HE, if you have a shot at a DD, take it, because you can really do some damage. Yeah, and that goes into my next point about the rudder shift is, since you have bad turret angles, your rudder shift has to be great. You have to be able to quickly turn, get your guns firing, and turn back, or else you're going to get citadeled very hard. And this is the issue that, as you see, the Colorado just offers himself up as a sacrifice. And see, already I'm trying to turn away here, and this is my bad because I'm not really used to playing battleships. If I was in a cruiser, I would already be turning. But you kind of want to keep this kind of angle here. You want to have all your guns firing, but you want to be somewhat angled away. Because as soon as you start turning in, you are locked in that engagement. And this thing has such a wide turning circle. Well, it's like 850, so it's not terrible, but still. Against the Jean Bart, you do not want to brawl. Jean Bart might be one of the best brawlers in the game just because of the turret layout and the reload. So Jean Bart outclasses Vanguard in almost every category. It's kind of difficult to see Vanguard, you know, actually competitive, and that is why we're actually using the meme build. And it was at this point in the game where I was like, alright guys, like we have 2 destroyers that aren't really doing anything other than, you know, taking pot shots at a battleship, and I'm quite nervous, not gonna lie. Now, we haven't really done much this game, 55,000 damage, you know. We haven't really had that many targets to shoot at, because since we only have 17.5 kilometer range, while it's not bad, it's also not great. Most battleships are going to be shooting over 18.5 at this tier, and you see here we take one more pot shot at the Iowa, hoping to stick a fire, and I'm begging my destroyers to come back, because no matter what battleship you're in, you're not going to be able to, you know, beat a competent destroyer, cruiser, battleship onslaught that I assume is coming my way. So, back to talking about the rudder shift. Rudder shift for this thing has to be one of your greatest assets since your turret traverse is so bad, and this was why the Langi was so good before it got nerfed. The Langi was good because it had really good rudder shift, so you could swing out, get your guns firing, and swing back in to a battle tank very quickly. And that is what they nerfed essentially, so now it takes you a lot longer to swing out, and that'll get you killed. That is exactly what will get you killed in this thing, because if you get greedy trying to swing your guns around, the armor on this thing is not going to save you, especially if you're going toe-to-toe with a battleship. Luckily, we are going against the Colorado, and the Colorado suffers from pretty wonky dispersion, and as you see here, we get to pull a fast one for this Algerie here. I was kind of hoping we get a little bit better results. I don't think we kill him here. Oh, we do. Yeah, we get pretty good results, so we smacked this guy. I'm not sure why this Algerie is trying to go first in front of the battleship, but even though I am broadside basically to that Colorado, if you notice, I've been manipulating my speed almost the entire time, and I am somewhat angled. I have actually dodged quite a few shots in my time playing this ship, and that's honestly just from using the rudder shift, using speed manipulation. As soon as someone shoots, try to change direction, and it actually has worked out quite well. And honestly, with 4 heals, you can somewhat take a few pins here and there. And Algerie was just completely, you know, I don't know. I really don't know. So we just creep over 100,000 damage, and not gonna lie, this game was full of or lack thereof talent. So right here, Colorado is actually in a pretty bad spot. I feel like this is one of the best positions you want to be in with a Vanguard, and it is weird kind of kiting away in a battleship, I will say, but this thing has great HE, and it is not to be brawled with. So anytime you can get all your guns firing effectively, and also have an exit, my exit is in front of me, and unfortunately we take a torque there, but you know, we have a lot of heal, so it's gonna be okay. And I'm not sure what this Colorado's deal was, but he was really struggling to hit us, like overly struggling, and it gets to this point where he starts showing a little bit broadside, and I'm like, you know what, let's test out some of this AP here, because I was very curious. And unfortunately, as soon as we were about to take a shot, he goes undetected, so that kind of sucked. But he does have 2 perma-fires on him, and with this, with the 22-second reload and this fire chance, do not neglect the fire. You're going to want to be shooting HE most of the time in this thing. If someone is angled in a battleship, your AP is not going to do much at all. You're basically going to have to be someone showing a very good broadside, and or, you know, they be a cruiser, and of course I get a phone call right now. Decline that. I get pretty cocky here, one because, you know, we've pretty much won, and this Colorado hasn't proven to me that he can take advantage of my broadside, and even if he was to shoot, I know he's about to shoot here. I'm actually waiting, and I was waiting for him to start swinging around, because I knew he was gonna. I knew as soon as he spotted me, he was gonna try and turn broadside. So I was waiting for it, and here he goes. This is a pretty predictable move for a lot of battleship players. So he's broadside now, and we get to finally test out the AP on broadside. Colorado's a pretty nice target to shoot at broadside, and anything basically, even destroyers. End up smacking him for 8K there. Full volley, that would have been about a 20K volley right there. So that was super nice. So the AP is, you know, if someone's broadside, definitely shoot AP. If not, shoot the HE. The only problem is, obviously, well, we overpinned there, and even at this range, dispersion can be somewhat weird, and that kind of, you know, if this thing had godlike dispersion, it would be very good. But since he's angling in, we aimed a little bit higher, because if we would have aimed waterline, we would have definitely bounced off his. He would have tanked us there and get the kill. And this was my second game using this commander setup, and we weren't really able to use it to the best of its ability. But I feel like the extra utility of the heal and the second main battery reload booster can catch a lot of people off guard, and I feel like in Vanguard you're not going to straight out beat somebody in a fight most times, so that extra utility is probably what's, you know, going to save you. And this game is over. I was actually pretty dumbfounded when I looked at Fraser's stats, and I was like, you know what, this could be used, especially since Vanguard has the main battery reload booster. The extra consumable really helps this ship in general. It was a meme. I was curious to see how it would do. Fortunately, we had some really, you know, easy people to play against. But I've played a couple games. This game was yesterday. I have played this a little bit more, and I've gotten a few other games that I didn't save. But there was some times where the ship was actually surprising me, and I feel like it was surprising a lot of other people. However, most of the time, I feel like Vanguard is outclassed, and it's really up to you to kind of play really cheeky, and be HE spamming. You know, it's quite a weird ship right now, and it's in a, I would say it's in a really weird spot competitively. It's not the greatest. However, I think this Fraser meme build kind of gives it something of a interesting factor, you know. But anyways, guys, that is going to be my second game in the Vanguard with this commander setup, and it's not bad. If you want to try it, go for it. I appreciate you guys. Y'all take it easy, and yeah, cheers.